Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Wednesday, July 5th, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? May I please have the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread? First card that we are starting our day off with today is coming in strong. We've got our King of Wands energy. We love seeing this energy for the masculine, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. Specifically right now, this could be a moment of feeling a lot of movement as it relates to communication for masculine energy. For masculines right now, there's a lot of communication that is currently potentially taking place, a lot of work in plans, in making sure that you're having those plans moving forward to overcome any of the hurdles that we have been seeing coming through in the cards over the last few days. While for feminine, this could be working right now towards an orientation towards either a masculine energy that you're currently in union with, that you are experiencing this ability to communicate, this breakthrough right now as it relates to communication. While for the other part of the feminine collective right now, this could be working to manifest this type of energy towards you at this time as you work through some of those difficulties in the heart space that we have been identifying over the last few days with that Empress card that continues to arrive in its reversal. The second card that we have coming through today in our 5-card spread is, we've got here the 9 of Cups in its reversal. This could be speaking towards some of that Empress energy in its reversal that we've been receiving over the last few days. For feminine energy, there could be some feelings of overwhelm. We saw that identified right now with that World card that we received in its reversal in combination with the Empress. And for feminine specifically, this is working either again in union right now with a masculine energy that is really utilizing their own ability of communication to help you overcome any of the challenges and hurdles that you are feeling with this blockage in your heart space at present. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this could be again working through some of these difficulties, some of these hurdles that are blocking you effectively from being able to move into this space of allowing masculine energy to communicate, of allowing this point of receptivity. This is a lot of internal work for the feminine that we're really identifying right now, to allow that space to even permit open and honest communication, even towards manifestations of masculine that you are identifying and recognizing are coming towards you in a positive fashion at present. While for masculine energy right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment that could be feeling more like a personal hurdle for you at this time. Because for the masculine energy, while we are identifying that there is this degree and ability that you are having in articulating your own experience right now, your own thoughts, your own desires, your own needs, your own goals, we are seeing that there is some point that you are feeling some kind of immediate active interference point within you as it relates to your own expressing your own emotionality at this time. This could be recognizing that there is some limitation in what you can provide at this moment, working through some of this internal hurdle, and maybe actively doing a lot of work today to try to address any of these circumstances and situations that you are feeling you are at a bit of a loss around at this point. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, the center card for today's spread is, we have coming through, and we love to see this because we have been recognizing this card over the last few days coming through in our card of the day, the 6 of Cups energy. And what we love so much about this card right now is the fact that again, and we've been seeing this with our daily pulls, that for both masculine and feminine right now, this is a moment of really putting a lot of reliance, a lot of security on those healthy, healed karmic relationships, those circumstances and situations in your life where you feel seen, supported, appreciated. You're getting that sense of ballast out from outside sources right now to help you overcome any of your immediate feelings of feeling at a loss, at feeling at a point of potential emotional overwhelm, allowing this to be that regulation point that we are identifying. For feminine energy right now, this is how feminine energy is working to overcome some of that blocking hurdle that we see in the heart space at this time, because while the feminine energy does feel like they are kind of at a loss at this point, there are some anxieties as it relates to connection, as it relates to intimacy, as it relates to love, as it relates to how to open the heart space in this way. Feminine energy is either, again, moving actively through this hurdle and difficulty with the support of healthy masculine energy that is communicating and allowing them to help articulate how they're feeling at this time, while also feeling that they are building these healthy, positive karmic connections right now, or having a lot of support from the healthy karmic energies in their life at present to help them overcome some of these emotional blockages and challenges that they're currently experiencing. While for feminine energy right now, masculine energy, what we're really identifying right now is, again, you are utilizing your ability to communicate, your ability to plan, to help overcome any situations or circumstances that you're currently feeling at a bit of a loss with at this time. What we like so much about this with the masculine energy is the masculine energy is not necessarily falling into this gap as it relates to these own doubts and fears coming about right now in terms of their limitations. Instead, they're solving this through a lot of communication and active planning right now, with a focus and concentration and receiving the support right now of the healthy karmic connections in your life right now to overcome any of these specific areas that you are feeling a bit at a loss with at this moment. Fourth card that we are seeing right now in our 5-card spread is, we have coming out to play right now. We love seeing this card in combination with these as well. We have here our 3 of Swords energy in its reversal. So what we're really identifying at this moment is this is a moment of deep healing, both for the masculine and feminine energy right now, bearing in mind that it's not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. Masculine and feminine energy right now are moving through situations and circumstances trying to heal the heart space. This does feel like a challenge. We are seeing here that there is active healing that's occurring, but we like this because it is moving into a space of healing, identifying the circumstances and situations that are allowing that degree and capacity to occur. For feminine energy, this is also helping you right now overcome some of that past energy that may have caused you to be some in this Empress in its reversal. For the feminine energy right now that's currently working in active union, this is receiving some of that outside support from a very communicative masculine energy right now to overcome your own healing cycle that puts you at a bit of a loss in terms of your own ability to, again, as we've seen with that Empress in its reversal coming through, truly be able to open up, truly be able to accept intimacy, truly be able to find that source and ability to love and receive love in kind at this moment. Feminine energy, though, is actively working on healing this blockage with the support of the healthy karmic energy that's around them. And again, either working in collaboration at this time with healthy, receptive masculine energy that is showing their own degree of building these healed karmic connections right now, or working to manifest this type of energy as they receive the support from the energies around them that are also guiding them forward on their own healing journey. While for masculine energy as well, we see that this is also a deep moment of healing, because the masculine energy, through active communication and planning, is overcoming any situations where they are feeling that they're at a loss or disadvantage. Again, receiving or working actively in support of building healthy karmic connections right now in their life at this time towards feminine energy, and potentially even getting support from outside energies on a whole right now to overcome some of these challenges as they themselves are actively healing. Fifth card that we are seeing right now in our 5-card spread is, we have coming through right now Temperance coming into play. This is feeling like a bit of slow energy. What we like about this is there isn't a feeling of rush. There isn't a feeling of expedience. The areas and situations that you are truly identifying right now that are helping you build this capacity of healing for yourself at this moment are offering you this degree of patience. They are offering you this degree of time. It is a recognition point right now that the healthy karmic connections in your life right now aren't pushing you forward in any degree or capacity. Rather, they're leaving this space to heal. They're recognizing that you are in a space of healing for both masculine and feminine energy at this moment. And it is allowing this degree and capacity for this slow healing movement to occur that is also helping for the feminine energy right now. There is something that is being recognized, particularly with this Empress energy in its reversal that we've been receiving, that is kind of giving some information to the feminine energy that a lot of this hurdle is only going to be achieved through time. It's going to require patience, both for the energy that's working currently around them that's in this healthy karmic mindset, and as well for the feminine energy themselves. Giving yourself that space, giving yourself that opportunity to heal, recognizing these spaces and degrees of feeling the disadvantage, but actively potentially communicating with the healthy karmic energy that's around you at this moment. Again, either in collaboration with similarly communicative masculine energy that recognizes and sees where you are at this moment and is allowing this degree and capacity to heal, or for the feminine energy working to manifest this type of energy towards you right now, recognizing the spaces that you haven't necessarily received it, but actively healing in the process as you proceed forward from this point. While for masculine energy right now, there is a degree of patience that is potentially required around some situations and circumstances that you are feeling some of this blockage with right now. Masculine energy is utilizing their healthy communication and planning at this moment to try to overcome any of these hurdles where they're feeling a bit of a loss at this point. Again, working either very much in connection with healthy feminine energy to build these healthy karmic connections at this point, or working right now and getting the support of those healthy karmic energies as you're doing this work on healing the self at this moment, healing your own heart space, but allowing a bit of pause, allowing some of this degree of time, and recognizing that your own healing journey will also require some time, either the healing that you yourself are currently experiencing at this moment, or the healing energy that the karmic energies around you effectively need at this time, utilizing the communication in the spaces in between to allow and recognize that that is what needs to occur at this moment. Continuing to get clarity on these cards right now between our King of Wands in combination with our Nine of Pentacles in its reversal will feel a bit different for feminine and masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, this could be having either working right now in active communication with masculine energy, feeling that emotional connection, feeling that karmic connection, but also experiencing some of this Empress in its reversal, because there is this mutual acknowledgement of some limitations at this moment that may be causing some point of disruption as it relates to connection at this time. Recognizing some spaces or places of what someone can effectively offer versus what they can't right now. But again, working with healthy masculine energy to discuss these points in a positive healing fashion, or working right now to manifest this type of energy towards you right now, though feeling a bit of a loss or a lot of sense of self that needs to be rebuilt at this moment to allow this energy to even come in right now in the moment in the first place, because you are finding yourself in this Empress in its reversal energy. While for masculine energy right now, this is a point of utilizing a lot of communication and planning right now to address any spaces or places that you are experiencing some setback on that is making you feel a bit underseen or undervalued. You are not letting yourself hold in this place. You are employing active communication on what it is that you care about and allowing that communication to help overcome any of these points of adversity you're currently experiencing. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Nine of Wands. This is some of that anxiety point that we are seeing for both masculine and feminine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, this is a lot of deep internal work that you're currently experiencing. Feminine energy is going through some feelings of anxiety and crisis. Where is that anxiety and crisis coming from? Their ability to truly show themselves, their ability to truly open up. This is addressing the blockage in the feminine heart space at this moment. For some of the feminine energy right now, this could be, again, working in active collaboration, in union with a masculine energy that is open and communicative, that is helping you identify and articulate some of these feelings of anxiety you have in being able to come forward in terms of expressing your feelings, in terms of feeling the full breadth and depth of your own emotionality at this time, but working actively to try to express why and the reasons for these causes to help mitigate and find that place of healing as you go forward from this point. While for the other half of the feminine energy right now, this is a lot of deep self-work that the feminine energy is currently experiencing. Because while you may be working right now to manifest communicative, open masculine energy, there's a lot of doubts and fears coming to the surface right now in terms of what you can truly offer at this moment, because you yourself are feeling a lot of this internal blockage that you're working through right now with time, with patience, with the assistance of the healed karmic energy that is around you at this moment. For masculine energy right now, this is also a point that you yourself are looking at any of the spaces or places that you are feeling some anxiety around. There's some moments right now for the masculine energy that are proving a challenge. This is a lot of that world card energy in its reversal that we saw just a few days ago. Masculine energy is working to come into a space where they can fully offer themselves in the most true functional fashion as well. There are limitations that masculine is experiencing in their own degree and ability to offer that level of support at this moment. And that is creating a sense of crisis for the masculine energy. But what we do appreciate here is, again, masculine energy is utilizing its communication and planning to try to mitigate and make these situations and circumstances easier or right as they proceed forward from this point. Either working, again, in collaboration with feminine energy that they recognize is in a healed karmic vibration, that they can address these in unison with right now and work through at this time, or masculine energy is potentially working or moving away from some circumstances that are creating these blockages and hurdles because they are causing too much distress, too much grief. But masculine energy is not sitting in this space. They are actively utilizing steps right now to help move forward from these points of disadvantage. Continuing to get clarity on these cards right now between our 9 of Cups in its reversal and our 6 of Cups in its upright. So again, for both masculine and feminine energy right now, there are some feelings of setback. There are some degrees of anxiety as it relates to your own ability to fully give forth at this moment. But again, you're either working in active communication right now with healthy, positive karmic energies in order to mitigate and correct, to utilize this as a correction point through healthy communication to overcome some of these blockages. While for the other half of the connections right now, this is you utilizing some spaces and places you're at a disadvantage, getting some outside support, from and advice from those healthy energies around you to help overcome these challenges at this time. May I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with King of Cups in its reversal. So this is a bit of that emotional blockage that we've been seeing in the feminine's heart space, communicating and articulating itself right now with the masculine energy. There is a point right now that the masculine energy is at a space of feeling a bit of emotional overwhelm. This could be feeling interpreted as one of 2 degrees. This could be feeling like a feeling of emotional overwhelm for the masculine, where it's hard for them to express your emotionality at this time because of the depth and breadth of your feelings. Or this could be you feeling so triggered right now that you have to pull back your own energy to the point that you feel like you're disassociated from it because it's not necessarily coming through in balance. This is that inarticulation point that the masculine energy is currently potentially experiencing right now that's making it difficult, because there's something right now about the masculine being able to emotionally express what they are feeling right now. Even while masculine energy is doing a lot of active work to communicate, what they're trying to communicate is very difficult because it's very emotionally triggering and difficult for the masculine energy. But we are seeing masculine energy is moving through this emotional hurdle or blockage right now with the support of healthy, managed karmic energy. So healthy karmic energies in the masculine life. This could be friends, this could be family, this could be getting some of that outside support as you're going through some of these experiences right now. Or it could be working actively with a healthy feminine connection that you are identifying is in a good karmic space, that you recognize has this ability and degree for healing at this moment to overcome some of these hurdles, even as you're actively experiencing it. While for feminine energy right now, again, this is addressing some of that blockage in the heart space that we've been seeing. For some of the masculine feminine energy right now, you are working right now in collaboration with a masculine energy that is utilizing their points of ability and degree of communication, even through a moment that is emotionally very triggering and challenging for them. You are actively talking about that blockage, and this is what's allowing the healthy karmic energy to come forward at this time. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is you working through some blockage in your Empress energy, in your own ability to allow love in or to receive love, due to some circumstances and scenarios that may have put you in this space with a masculine energy that was not in a place where they could emotionally manage or mitigate your own feelings. Recognizing that this is what led to the blockage. Masculine energy that was potentially not able to create that point of emotional health or balance for you, did not create that healthy emotional space because they themselves could not maintain it. And this is you getting the support of the healed karmic energies around you as you identify the source of where your own blockage is at this moment. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Six of Cups in combination with our Three of Swords in its reversal. We love to see this energy in collaboration. These cards in collaboration are beautiful cards because what we see for both masculine and feminine right now, it is the fact that both masculine and feminine energy are doing some work right now to heal the heart space. Situations and scenarios that are creating this degree of pain that you want to heal from. But again, working right now in unison with those healthy karmic energies to support you as you heal. If you are in union right now, this is recognizing that there is a healthy karmic energy working actively with you right now in that connection that is allowing this degree to have this space to heal. While for those that are moving away from partnership right now or in a space where you are trying to manifest this healthy connection right now, this is a point that you are getting a lot of outside support right now from those emotionally healthy karmic energies that create a supportive system at this moment to help you on your healing journey. May I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Justice in its reversal. So this is the correction of any of those places and spaces of imbalance at this time. For both masculine and feminine energy, what's really beautiful at this moment is, again, it is not the ignoring of the pain. It is not the ignoring of the degree of something that requires healing. It is working right now actively with healthy karmic energy to recognize any places of imbalance, all to the degree of creating a correction point. If you are in active union right now, this is a moment that you are effectively utilizing this as an experience of coming into balance, recognizing the pains that you're both experiencing to find better balance as you come forward from this point. While for the energy that is not necessarily in union right now, this is a moment that you are going through right now, that you are recognizing that some of the situations or circumstances that led to you requiring this degree of healing at this moment right now is why you needed to move away from those energies, why you're in this space of healing, getting that support from those energies that are healed around you at this time, leaning right now on the friends, the families, that beautiful network of karmic energy that is supporting you on your own healing journey, that is also helping you identify the imbalances in the unhealed energy that may have caused a lot of this degree of pain in the first place. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Three of Swords in its reversal and our Temperance card. So what we are identifying right now is there is a moment for both masculine and feminine energy of recognizing some space that is causing some degree of difficulty. It is allowing yourself to emotionally experience that heartbreak, helping yourself to heal. For masculine energy, it is creating some feelings of emotional overwhelm at this time, even as you're actively trying to plan and communicate through it at this time, at this moment. For feminine, this is why there is that degree of anxiety as it relates to your own ability to open up at this time. You are doing a lot of work to identify this. For both energies, there is a degree and capacity of understanding that this work is going to take time, it's going to take space, and it's now about building that supportive system around you as you continue on your healing journey. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with our star in its reversal. This will feel a bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy right now, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy, there is this feeling, there is this recognition. This is why the Empress was in her reversal. Feminine energy is actively healing from situations or circumstances that they did not feel like they could be their most authentic expression of self. They did not feel like they could be vulnerable. They did not feel like they could be open. That is where we see the moment that feminine energy is recognizing the healing is still commencing. Even for energy right now that is in union, this is potentially working right now with a healthy masculine energy that you are communicating with at this time around your own blockages, even as they themselves are similarly feeling some of that same emotional anxiety. We're seeing a lot of mirroring right now for both feminine and masculine energy at this moment. But for the healthy, healed karmic collections right now, for those healed karmic unions, this is a moment of deeper healing and giving each other the space required to move into that degree of capacity of healing. While for the energy that currently is not in union, for feminine specifically, this is a moment of identifying the difference between the healthy karmic energies or potentially the energies that created this space and place in the first place. For feminine energy we are seeing right now that's not in union, this is a moment of seeing that there is a kind of a blocker in your own ability or degree to be open to intimacy because of your own fears of being seen, because of your own fears of being vulnerable, potentially due to some past energy of masculine that was not able to create a healthy emotional space for you to do so. Working again to manifest for yourself going forward, communicative partnership that would allow that space and degree for you to be able to be seen and to express yourself and to not necessarily feel a blockage in that space, but be able to work through these challenges and hurdles. While for masculine energy right now, this is again, either if you are currently in active union, you are working right now with some feminine energy that is feeling some of this timidity as it relates to their own ability to fully express their emotionality at this time, recognizing that this is a space of healing that this energy requires, creating this space or opportunity to allow that energy to move into healing, even as you yourself are feeling some of that emotional degree of anxiety as it relates to the circumstances that you find yourselves in. While for the masculine energy that is not in active union, this could be interpreted as a few different ways. This could be feeling right now that masculine energy is actively trying to heal right now from a feminine energy that they feel is cut off, is at a distance from them, that there is some inaccessibility point around a feminine energy, and you are actively working right now to try to heal from this circumstance or situation, recognizing that it's going to take time. Or for the other part of the masculine collective right now, this could be you trying to come into a point of repair for a feminine and with a feminine energy that you recognize has built some degree of anxiety in terms of being open and vulnerable and honest and expressive with you. That this energy is in a space that you are actively trying to heal this rift right now, but giving this space, giving this opportunity for time, utilizing your powers of communication to help build that degree of healing, to allow this feminine to feel more vulnerable and open as you proceed forward from this point. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Nine of Swords in combination with our King of Cups in its reversal. This is going to feel very hairy for the masculine energy right now and for the feminine, but in different ways. Bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, you are going through a moment of emotional overwhelm, and it's creating some feelings of deep anxiety and fear within you at this time. Uncertainty in terms of how to express your own emotions at this time. Feeling that in some degree or capacity, your own emotionality is blocked to a certain degree. This could be feeling right now for the masculine energy that this is potentially an internal block that you are now working through. Again, trying to communicate how you're feeling, but feeling anxieties and how to express your emotionality at this time that's creating this point of crisis. For some of the masculine energy, again, working in union with the feminine to overcome some of these challenges in union. While for the other part of the masculine energy right now, we could be identifying a situation or scenario where we're seeing that there is a feminine energy that you want to be in contact with, that you feel that you're effectively blocked from being able to have this level or degree of vulnerability and emotionality opening towards you at this time. And it is creating a feeling of emotional overwhelm in you as you try to mitigate and create the space and time required to build this connection back up. or moving away from something that you recognize you just don't feel there's any ability to do so from. While for the feminine energy right now, there is a moment that, again, you yourself are experiencing some doubts, some anxieties, some fears, even potentially some experiences from the past rising to the surface right now, related and in connection to masculine energy that was not emotionally supportive, that was not able to create that safe space for you at this time. Potentially, again, working with either in union right now with healthy, healed karmic energy that is open to communication as you overcome these blockages, while they themselves are potentially also experiencing a bit of emotional overwhelm internally at this moment. Or for the other half of the feminine energy right now, this is you manifesting this towards yourself in this degree, allowing this point of grief, allowing yourself to mourn some experiences that have led you to this space of feeling this doubt, this vulnerability, this lack of confidence in your own self, but identifying that the source of it doesn't necessarily lie within you, but potentially due to some connection with a masculine energy that you feel was not supportive, was not able to create that sense of emotional security in this space to allow you to be your most authentic expression of self. May I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Knight of Cups. Not surprised to see it here, because this is where we see the overcoming of that hurdle coming into play. Because what we're really identifying here at this point is the fact that for the masculine energy right now, we are seeing that the easement point that you are potentially experiencing, which is why we see this King of Wands out in combination with our King of Cups in its reversal, is masculine energy is working right now through a sense of emotional overwhelm that's causing them a lot of grief and anxiety. Masculine energy right now is trying to find a way to emotionally express what they are feeling in positive, productive ways. What we love about this from the masculine energy is this is masculine energy identifying their own internal hurdle right now, wanting to make sure that they don't necessarily cause more problems expressing their emotionality, but working right now to find the best way to try to communicate how they're feeling in a way that will be able to be productive, in a way that will be able to feel supportive. This could be small gestures right now, small movements that they feel will help move things in a more positive direction. For the masculine energy that's currently in union right now, this is employing very active communication tactics at a moment that you're feeling a bit of emotional overwhelm. But again, recognizing that you are trying to move with a lot of intentionality in terms of what you're expressing versus what you might be internally feeling right now. For the masculine energy that's in union, you're working in collaboration with feminine energy in this state of active communication, receiving this support, expressing potentially your own limits on what you can communicate at this time. But that healed karmic energy around you is creating a supportive system where you yourself feel safe to be able to express that emotionality. While for the masculine energy that is not necessarily in union right now, this could be you going through some feelings of emotional overwhelm and the difficulty that it's bringing into the surface, because you could be in a connection right now with a feminine that you are at a distance from, or you feel is somewhere distant from you, if not tangibly, but from a space of them not necessarily feeling like they can be vulnerable, that they can be open, that you may even feel like you're not necessarily sure if they'll be able to come kind of want you, how like the degree and ability for this to be healed. And this is the masculine energy in that space. You are actively working to try to find some way to support, communicate in a positive, productive, supportive fashion going forward, either to potentially heal that affective rift, if you will, or find a way to articulate what you are feeling at this time. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself are either working, again, in union with healthy karmic masculine energy that shows this degree and capacity to communicate, potentially working through some experiences that you have had with past energy that has caused you this point or degree of feeling this blockage as it relates to being expressive, as it relates to being vulnerable, as it relates to your being able to be your most authentic expression of self. Recognizing that those energies could not bring or deliver this degree of care. They could not bring this small level of support towards you at this time, which is why you are potentially having to move away from them. While for the feminine, and this is a moment, if you are in union right now with the healthy masculine energy, they are offering you this level and degree of emotional support as you navigate this experience that you yourself that has created this blockage for you at this moment. While for the feminine energy that isn't necessarily in union right now, that is working to heal this type of energy, this is a moment that you yourself are allowing this grief to come through, this blockage, because you are experiencing and understanding that the masculine energy that is going through a blockage right now would not have put you in a space where they would not either like overly emote to you or they would cut back from you, that there needs to be healthy, productive opportunities to allow for consistent emotional expression and communication. And it is that moment that you're working to manifest with yourself, but you are still even feeling a bit of anxiety and degree in being able to even accept that from outside sources at this point, because you're still in effect waiting on some of this past energy to have been able to offer that to you to some degree. This is where we see that healing needing to come into play. For both masculine and feminine energy right now, we see here that the source of healing, the space that you're looking to bring into play right now, is that combination of communication and emotional support, even through hurdles and challenges. For the masculine, this is a lot of active work that you are recognizing that you are doing at this time. While for feminine, this is overcoming some of those hurdles and challenges that have led you to this point of feeling like you have to be cut off to a certain extent as it relates to your own ability to feel love and appreciate love and be able to give love in turn. Continuing to get clarification right now between our King of Cups in its reversal and the Justice card in its reversal. Again, working right now actively for both masculine and feminine energy. This will feel a bit different, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. Masculine energy is potentially feeling a degree of emotional overwhelm at this time. You are utilizing a lot of work. What we like about this for the masculine energy is there's a point of really understanding that there is an internal imbalance here that you yourself are working to navigate at this moment. That is why we see for even the masculine energy that's working on communication right now, you are being very careful about what you are communicating, because you identify the fact that you are feeling a bit imbalanced as it relates to your own emotionality at this time. While for feminine energy right now, what we are really recognizing is this is a moment that you have experienced some situations or hurdles around masculine energy, not being able to be in a space where they could come in balanced emotionally right now. Either again, working right now actively with a healed masculine energy that may be in this space right now, but they are employing active communication to help you come into a state of balance with them, even through some of these emotional difficulties that they're experiencing, while you yourself are also feeling some of those difficulties, and you can relate and mirror that back to them as you proceed on your healing journey. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this of you having experienced or gone through or actively healing from some situations or circumstances right now with a masculine energy that was either too emotionally overwhelming that they could not create a safe space for you with your own emotions, or they pulled back and they didn't allow this degree of healthy, balanced emotionality to come through. That withdrawal that created this sense of imbalance with you in the first place that you are now trying to correct for at this time. May I please have one card to clarify at this moment? Clarification coming through right now. This card does not want to stop coming up in its reversal. Four of Swords in its reversal. So we've been seeing this for several times over the last week or so. This is addressing situations and circumstances from the past, rising up to the surface that potentially created this point of imbalance in the first place. This is either going to be a tangible situation that needs to be addressed from the past in order to move forward from this point, in particularly with the energies that are in union at this time, or it is a metaphysical rising up, triggering situations, triggering traumatizing moments from the past that are still coming to the surface right now, that are creating active blockages in the present for both masculine and feminine energy. For feminine energy, it is that past energy that's coming to the surface, recognizing those past experiences that led you into spaces where you felt like you couldn't necessarily be your most full, authentic expression of self. either working right now to address those feelings that are putting you in this point of anxiety, having to experience the imbalance anew from some of that past energy that wasn't able to build that healthy, supportive, emotional connection with you at that time, that led you into a space where you could not feel like you could be vulnerable and available for this love that now potentially you're trying to bring towards you at this moment. While for the other half of the collective right now, this could be having to address tangibly right now situations and circumstances that you are experiencing very much in an active moment. Energy from the past coming back towards you at this time, but still potentially experiencing a lot of the imbalance around that energy and trying to identify if that imbalance has been corrected at this moment, or if this energy is still coming towards you in the same space that you left the situations and circumstances that caused this imbalance to begin with. While for masculine energy right now, again, this is a moment of resurfacing that's coming into the fold right now, either working right now in union with feminine energy to heal and address some circumstances from the past that may have created some of these imbalances. But even this moment, experiencing it actively, is creating a moment for you that you are feeling some of this degree of emotional overwhelm that you yourself are currently working from. Something about these circumstances and situations are emotionally triggering, both for masculine and feminine energy. For masculine energy that is working in the capacity with healthy karmic connections with feminine right now, this is you actively communicating, trying to express your emotionality around these circumstances and experiences so that you can create a point of balance going forward from this point, but it is requiring some addressing of past experiences as you do so. While for the masculine energy that is not necessarily in union right now, this is working through a lot of either, again, practical circumstances and situations from the past that are coming back to the surface right now for you immediately at this time, or internal situations that are rising back up right now that are creating this sense of emotional imbalance for you at this time, potentially looking for some ways to address it, either via communication or some kind of emotional offer at this time to help heal some of this emotional imbalance that you're currently experiencing as it relates to your own feelings about some circumstances and situations from the past that are still very present in the moment. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now, between our Justice card in its reversal in combination with our Star card in its reversal. So for feminine energy, this is a lot of internal work that you yourself are doing right now. Masculine energy is feeling this imbalance in their emotional center at this time. Feminine energy that is creating a sense of overwhelm. Feminine energy is feeling a similar imbalance, but it is not around their emotionality. Feminine energy is feeling blocked from building a lot of this like emotionality or feeling like it is safe to experience some of these feelings of love and connection right now because of some of this feeling right now of feeling anxiety about being able to be in a state about whether you are safe to be in your most authentic expression of yourself at this moment. A lot of this coming into some self-limiting feelings, a lack of love, a lack of feeling like you deserve love, a lot of feelings potentially that you don't feel deserving. Working through a lot of these internal feelings right now, recognizing that they are creating this point of imbalance, and that's requiring a lot of work right now to heal from situations either from the past that led you to be in this point, working away from certain energy that created that moment as you try to manifest healthy energy that would not create this state for you at this time, or actively working right now with healthy masculine energy that you're feeling some of this emotional blockage with at this moment, but identifying the source and working very much actively to try to heal some of these feelings that are being created within you from some triggering circumstances and situations that you're actively navigating through. While for masculine energy right now, this is again potentially feeling some of this emotional overwhelm energy that's creating a sense of imbalance with you right now, either in union right now with a feminine energy that you feel a lot of connection to, that you feel and recognize is a healthy karmic energy, but feeling the fact that they themselves are navigating some spaces and places where they don't feel like they can be their most authentic expression of self. This could even be a moment right now where seeing the feminine energy in this state of going through this internal crisis is creating the point of emotional overwhelm for the masculine that is currently in union at this time as you yourself navigate the spaces that you are actively experiencing together. While for the masculine energy that is not in union right now, this is potentially you feeling some sense of emotional overwhelm as it relates to some feminine energy that you feel that you are in some state of disconnection from. Feeling like this energy is at a distance from you, either a tangible distance, as in you don't have access to this energy anymore, or that this energy is in a place or space where they don't feel like they can be their most authentic expression of self, and that has required them to draw away from you at this moment. And you're actively working right now to heal this feeling of imbalance, either within yourself right now, in the work that you're doing and what you're giving forth at this time towards those healthy karmic energies, or actively working to try to correct an imbalance to allow this energy access to be able to come back towards this feminine energy at this moment, trying to determine what you can do emotionally to build this connection back up from the start. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with tangible offers. Tangible offers, tangible offers, tangible offers. This is that moment for both masculine and feminine energy right now, where even with the feminine energy right now that is currently experiencing this moment of crisis, you are recognizing the places and spaces right now that are truly supporting you through this moment of personal feelings of doubt in oneself, doubt in your own abilities, doubt in your own ability to be vulnerable and open. There are spaces and right now and places for the feminine that are showing this level of degree of support, even as they're actively trying to heal, which is why this is a healing moment, even though it is a difficult one for the feminine to be truly open and honest and vulnerable at this time. Feminine is working right now through this hurdle by what is immediately being offered to them to help them through this internal crisis. Either, again, working with a healthy masculine energy that's utilizing their abilities of communication while also experiencing a point of emotional overwhelm that is offering this degree of stability and support for the feminine energy to navigate this difficult terrain of healing, and giving them the patience in order to do so. While for the other part of the feminine energy right now, you are getting active support from the energy around you right now that identifies and sees the fact that you're actively healing. This could be friends, family, anyone that you feel you can actually openly, emotionally express and be open to at this time is offering you that safe harbor, which is helping you identify the spaces and places that you did not necessarily see and recognize that led you to find these spaces and places that you find yourself in the first place. For masculine energy right now, this is you utilizing that King of Wands energy that we received here, allowing that communication to come through, allowing yourself to push through a moment of emotional overwhelm in terms of helping it decide what you can actually offer right now towards some of these situations and circumstances. For the masculine energy that is working right now in union with healed feminine energy, this is a moment that you are identifying that the feminine energy is going through some feelings that make them question their own ability to be authentic and their vulnerable self. But you are creating this supportive opportunity. You're leaving this stable center of support for the feminine energy to know that they have this safe space to be able to work through this, that is allowing this deeper healing, even as this space is creating a possibility for you where you yourself are feeling deeply emotionally triggered. While for the masculine energy that is not necessarily in union right now, this could be a lot of work that you are actively participating in writing a balance, recognizing that there is potentially a feminine energy that you want to move closer to, but feels to a certain degree that they are at a distance from you, either not necessarily available to be towards you at this time. There's something about this energy pulling away from you completely, or that something about this feminine energy isn't being their most open, authentic expression of self because they don't feel safe to do so. And you yourself are trying to utilize and figure out what you need to offer these circumstances and situations to create this sense of balance as you proceed forward. This is you forming and trying to determine what you can offer these circumstances and situations. Continuing to get clarification on these points right now between our King of Cups in combination with our Four of Swords in its reversal. So again, Very different energy for masculine and feminine, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what you feel most aligned to. For feminine energy right now, one of the reasons that the feminine energy is feeling so blocked in their heart space could potentially be from circumstances and the situations from the past rising back up to the surface right now, either metaphysically in the heart space, something triggering you, something reminding you, something bringing some of these things up to be seen and held in the light. Either working right now actively with healthy masculine energy that is offering you this emotional support, even as you go through some experiences from the past, coming back to effectively need to be confronted and dealt with, either internally or tangibly. While for the other part of the feminine energy right now, this is you actively experiencing and dealing with some circumstances and situations from the past and addressing the fact that recognizing that these situations and circumstances, one of the reasons that they may have caused this blockage for you in the first place is because you did not get those emotional offerings. You did not get that emotional support. It is utilizing and recognizing the difference of those experiences versus what you should have received versus what you ultimately did not get, which is creating that blockage point that's triggering some of this emotionality to come to the surface. While for masculine energy right now, this is a moment that is feeling somewhat overwhelming because there's some circumstances and situations from the past that are either, again, internally rising up within you or tangibly occurring right now. And this is you effectively trying to identify the places and spaces on how you can emotionally offer some kind of degree of emotional support at this time, recognizing that some of these circumstances and situations from the past require a point of emotional connection, of emotional addressing, though they're extremely emotionally overwhelming for you. So they almost immediately cause a blockage before they begin, but you're trying to figure out what you can do right now to create a state of easement as you want to bring forth some kind of emotionality towards some of these situations and circumstances from the past. We're working right now to confront some of those experiences you yourself are feeling in positive partnership by expressing your own emotionality around them at this time. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our Page of Cups, who is back out here again. So one thing to pay attention to right now. There is something to be noted here with the masculine energy that is very kind of childlike as it relates to some of these circumstances and situations. Can I just show you right now? Look at all of the emotionality we have coming through right now with the masculine energy. We've got the King of Cups here, we've got the Knight of Cups, and we've got the Page of Cups out. And what that's really articulating right now, this could be an emotionally triggering time for masculine right now, because what we are seeing right now is happening is there could be a feeling of challenge right now that's happening with the masculine energy in terms of how to effectively navigate some of these feelings that you're having around some past situations from the past coming to the surface right now. You could be feeling pulled in two different directions right now as it relates to how to deal with this. One part of you might be asking yourself what you can emotionally offer to create some level or degree of easement to help navigate some of the things that you're feeling. Actively really asking yourself, what do you have to give forth to be able to create some point of resolution? Again, either working in tandem right now with the feminine energy that's experiencing this, that you're actively working through right now, or looking at some circumstances and situations from the past and asking about what you need to do for yourself at this time to help build a point of easement around them. But the other part of you might be much more concentrated in just kind of using or utilizing a distraction point to help move you away from this at this time. This could be a moment where masculine might be feeling that need or that call for their inner child to regress a bit as you're feeling this right now, because it might just be feeling like, is this something that you actually want to try to like do this work with right now on to put this commitment level in, or do you just kind of want to move into something that will just feel easier or allow for that point of easement? Because we're seeing here that this is some of the challenges that the masculine energy faces when they're in a space of emotional overwhelm at this time. While for feminine energy right now, and this could be creating almost a distraction point, the masculine is tempted to experience right now to help come into a state of easement over what they are feeling. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself are either actively experiencing some trigger point from some situation or circumstance from the past, rearing its emotional head back in your present, or having to deal with some tangible experiences from the past that need to be addressed. And this is that moment that you yourself, again, are either working right now in unison with a healthy masculine energy that's trying to offer and is able to give this degree of emotional support, but also trying to lift your spirits in this capacity as you go through this moment with them together. Or for the feminine energy, this is looking at some of these situations from the past and really identifying the difference in terms of whether that energy, like this is why you're doing it. You're looking at those past situations and saying, was this an energy that was offering some degree of emotional support? Or was it an energy that was only invested in their own pleasure? That's where we're seeing that some of this blockage was coming from the feminine right now, as it relates to their own anxieties and fears of moving into places and spaces where they can feel they can be their most authentic expression of self, and why there is the blockage in the heart space. Feminine is experiencing these past situations and really looking, again, we've been seeing this over and over again with the feminine energy, looking at the masculine energy around them right now and saying, are you truly in a space that you care? Do you care about how I'm feeling? Or are you just moving for your own pleasure and your own needs and your own sense of enjoyment at this moment? Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Four of Swords in its reversal in combination with our Ace of Pentacles. This is the solution to the problem. This is what's allowing this degree of healing to come forward, even in those energies that are not in union right now. Because for both all energies that are active right now, masculine and feminine, there is a moment that is feeling deeply triggering. There's some situations and circumstances that are rising up from the past that are requiring a point of addressing. Masculine energy, this is deeply emotionally triggering for you at this moment. This could be looking right now, again, towards some situations and circumstances from the past, trying to decide what to do about how you're feeling, whether to come forward with some emotional offer, whether to come forward with some emotional message, or whether to kind of find a point of distraction and just allow yourself to move into a space of just finding something that makes you feel like there's a balm or a point of easement on what you're feeling at this time. That's a lot of the conflict that the masculine energy not in union is experiencing at this moment. While for feminine energy right now, this is that moment that you yourself are experiencing some situations and circumstances from the past, potentially rising to the surface. But really, again, feeling some degree of capacity of support that you yourself are receiving at this time that is helping you to really identify if there's something tangibly there. Was there anything tangibly there? Because that is that moment that is helping you articulate versus what you are experiencing now. There's something that's happening very important right now between what feminine is experiencing now that is triggering something from the past and helping them articulate and identify it better, while also working through some of these anxieties that are arising in their own ability to be seen and vulnerable at this time. While for masculine, this is really looking at some of these circumstances and situations and asking what you could effectively do about them, how to move forward, what to do, what to communicate, how to push through, or whether to even do so at all and just try to find some point of enjoyment in moving away from them entirely at this time. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with, we love this card in its reversal because this is the path to healing that we're seeing. This moment right now, as difficult as it is for both feminine and masculine energy right now, it is a point of deep healing. For feminine energy right now, there is a moment that something from the past is rising up, but you are looking at it with the optics of what you're effectively getting at this moment. And it is allowing you to make better choices at this time because it's creating new optics in terms of what you are effectively needing or not receiving from those past experiences versus what you are getting now or what you are requiring now that's allowing this point of healing even as you proceed forward from this point. And for masculine, it is the same. You are putting in a committed effort right now on your own healing journey. The desire and capacity for the masculine right now to move into a space of concentrating on their own pleasure is certainly there. But even those energies that are doing that right now are doing it with a lot of conscious effort, only in the face of not going back to circumstances or experiences that they don't necessarily feel are healthy for them at this time to help navigate some of these feelings that they're experiencing from the past. Again, utilizing this as a point of recognizing what you want to give forth at this point as it relates to some of these feelings that you're experiencing, all for the act and desire of deeper healing. This could be wanting to go back to some of those situations from the past for the masculine right now to create a point of address, feeling like that possibility or potential for healing is there, hence that Knight of Cups being here. Or identifying and articulating that there might not necessarily be something that you can offer at that moment, in which case you're moving on your own healing journey at this time. Final cards, two important cards that we're closing our spread with today, between our Page of Cups and the Devil in its reversal. So this is a little bit of tricky energy here, friends. This is a little bit of tricky energy, because while there is this movement right now that will feel a bit different for feminine and masculine energy, for feminine energy right now, this is working through some situations and circumstances that you are trying to come into a healing capacity with a lot of care and attention right now towards, again, either a supportive masculine energy that you recognize is working as well on helping you through this journey, but also recognizing the fact that they themselves are in a space that they are much more, they're not experiencing the same degree. They're not experiencing the same anxiety. This is more them kind of coming forward in such an emotional way, but almost like creating a point of easement, just trying to create a space of uplift, because they themselves are just trying to, like, again, lighten your own load, if you will, as it relates to your own feelings, and trying to generate a sense of delight for you, to try to build that sense of pleasure and happiness, to recognize that this is something that you're working both on equally to build this healing capacity. While for the other part of the feminine energy right now, this is a moment that, again, you are looking a lot towards the masculine energy that's around you right now, and you are asking yourself, are they moving towards a space of their own pleasure and enjoyment, or is that same energy committed to healing in alignment with also doing that, because they're not necessarily mutually exclusive. While for masculine energy right now, this could be working right now into some tricky territory, because while we see that there is this concentration, that you're feeling a lot of emotional overwhelm, a part of you just kind of wants to get your mind off it to a certain degree, because there is some uncertainty at this moment in how to proceed. You're also mitigating that with not wanting to go, with also staying committed to your own healing path at this moment, not wanting to go back to situations or circumstances that have caused pain, or also trying to navigate and mitigate your own behaviors or your own trigger points that you might fall into when you go into spaces where you start to feel emotional overwhelm at this time. May I please have the final card for today's spread? Final card is the Moon in its reversal, which is absolutely beautiful, because what we're really seeing here is this is the point of clarification on how to proceed. Honesty is what we're seeing. Honesty, transparency, clarity. Masculine and feminine energy are working with a commitment towards these as they go forward from this point. Masculine energy right now, even while you're struggling through some emotional hurdles and challenges, the ones that are in union, if you are currently in active union right now, you are feeling this degree of easement even as you're going through some of this emotionality that's allowing you to feel a bit of security even at a point of overwhelm, because you recognize that the energy that's around you right now is committed to healthy healing connection, and that's going to require transparency, and you are actively receiving this right now. While for the masculine energy right now that is not in union, this is a moment that could be feeling like there's a lot of truth being revealed to you right now as it relates to your own emotionality, and not just your own emotionality, your own coping mechanisms that come into play when you're feeling a sense of emotional overwhelm right now, because you are recognizing the masculine energy is seeing this degree of anxiety as it relates to communicating their own emotions, their urgency, or sometimes their habit of moving into a state of distraction or personal pleasure. When you're experiencing this right now, you are actively recognizing the fact that you're trying to heal. And this is a point of coming to truth, not only with how you feel, but how you address or experience, or how you navigate these moments of emotional overwhelm that are lending insight to the whole situation on the whole. And even potentially for some of the masculine energy right now, providing clarity on what potentially went wrong in some past scenarios that left you into this new state of deep insight and understanding. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that, again, if you're an active union right now with masculine energy, you are recognizing that you are going through some work right now, getting that degree of communication, getting that degree of transparency with a masculine energy that you are continuing to move forward from right now, because while they're in a space of emotional overwhelm, they're still lending this point of ease, of delight. They're actively committed on healing things. They're actively committed on the work on making sure that you understand that there's still emotionality based on what is also pleasurable at this time. And that transparency is what is also creating that supportive system for you right now in union, even as you overcome some of these triggered traumas from the past that you're currently actively working on that block you from being open as it relates to love and intimacy and your own ability of coming into appreciation of the self that is actively happening for the feminine right now. While for the feminine energy that is not in union right now, this is a moment that you are putting a lot of care and intentionality in terms of the energy that you are allowing towards you at this time. What we like here, it's not the fact that feminine energy is not allowing this masculine energy in. They're doing it with a very cautious approach. We saw there that Queen of Swords we received just a few days ago. Feminine energy is feeling a little triggered right now. They're feeling some moments that they're experiencing some blockage. They're trying to recognize the fact that this is an internal blockage built on some of the hurdles of the past. And instead of not necessarily pushing all the masculine energy away that comes towards them in this capacity, they're really utilizing, they're assessing the energy. They're assessing the intentions, and they're assessing it through how communicative and how honest and how transparent those same energies are as they proceed forward from this point, recognizing that that transparency and clarity is what is going to create the supportive environment for them, even as they continue on your healing journey. Bottom of the deck on this reading right now is Two of Swords. There is a point of pause right now. There are some situations and circumstances that are feeling somewhat open-ended. You could be feeling right now that you're not necessarily seeing a lot of active movement at this time, but there's a lot of care and observation that is being taken prior to taking a point of action right now, both for masculine and feminine energy. There's also a feeling, though, of some action being required and needing to be taken. That this has been a bit of a buildup in taking this time for yourself, in truly getting these optics, and truly allowing even for some of these past experiences to rise to the surface right now, so you can build better understanding around them right now. For the masculine energy, a lot of these situations from the past rising up are creating a place of emotional overwhelm. You're feeling a need to take some course of action, even though you're feeling a little uncertain of how to do so. While for feminine right now, this is a moment that you are feeling actively triggered around some situations and circumstances from the past based on some immediate experience that you're experiencing that feels similar to that. But you are navigating and you're getting a new sense of clarity on what occurred in the past right now based on these now present experiences that you yourself are also utilizing to some degree to try to take action, though you yourself are not necessarily 100% certain on what the right course of action is at this time. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of a recording sent to you afterwards. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. Please keep in mind, if you book a reading with me on my website, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and then you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you hit both buttons if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please, 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 please remember, I will never reach out to you for a reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your DMs and tell you that I have a very special message just for you. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my website. So I encourage you to do it there. I want to thank you guys so much for having this reading with me today, and we will do this again tomorrow.